When you're about done with this assignment, there's a few finishing touches that we can add to make this thing so that it's ready to turn in. We want to put it on the right title block in our sheets. We want to make the walls so that they're solid filled with a color, probably black, but could be any color. And we want to turn on the shadows. Okay, starting with the sheet, if you go to your first floor plan sheet, you'll probably have a title block, but it won't look like mine. And we don't want to use my title block. We don't want to use either one of these. Go back to the assignment, and you can download under resources this contemporary title block. A student actually made this for me, an awesome student named Jennifer. And once it's downloaded, you should be able to go to your downloads folder on your computer, double click to open it in Revit. It looks like this. It's just really nice and plain. It's great for presentation. You can select load project, load into project, and close, and that will bring it in. Go back to your sheet view, and then when you select that title block, it'll be available and you can just swap it out for this nice looking one. Okay, there's a few items that you'll go and click on and you can change them so that, oh, be careful, that actually reopened my title block. If you do this just right, you'll click and then you'll click again and you can give it, whatever name you want. Your name should go right here. So click and click slowly. There we go. And so put your name in. And then you can give the name of the project down here, the location, the sheet number. Maybe some of this doesn't really need anything. I'm not sure what that none is for. It might be this one. I don't really know, but try to edit some of this so that it looks right. And that's about it. And of course, put your second floor on here too. I've only got the first floor on the sheet currently, but you can fit both of them. Make sure on your second floor that you have an underlay. This won't make sense as I demonstrate on the first floor, but if you go and select first floor for an underlay, when you're modifying your second floor, what will happen is that it will show everything down on the main floor without materials, and everything on the second floor will have materials, and then it's really easy to see where the loft is and what it overlooks down into. Okay, so that's how you'd finish out your sheet. Let's go back now and take a look at this problem where my walls, they have some kind of a wood color fill inside. There's absolutely no contrast between that color and my floor. Yours might look better, but even still, I think there's a way that we can improve it. No matter what's in there right now, there's a way we can improve it. It's kind of a strange way. You're probably used to going to visibility graphics, typing in walls, and in here you could change it so that there's some kind of a solid fill with a color. For whatever reason, that's just not going to work here. I need to take both of these out, no overrides. That's not going to work because we've got this set to textures, and that solid fill won't work when it's set to textures. Okay, another way that you might think of is that you could go into edit type. You could edit the structure for your wall, change the material here to something that's a solid color, and that actually would work. And you'd have to do that for all of your wall types. And I've got a better way. It's only slightly faster, but it is better. Strangely, we're going to come down here and do something that I never recommend. We're going to change this to coarse. That will change this so that we lose all of the detail in our walls, but because this is for presentation, that just really doesn't matter. It turned it gray, and we want it to actually be black, so what we'll do is select a wall, edit the type, and whatever color you put in here is what should fill in those walls, but only after you tell it that you want it to be a solid fill. Okay, and okay. And you can see that some of my exterior walls are now black. I must have more than one wall type. You might too. But if I just do that to every one of my walls, then they're eventually all going to be black. It looks like I've got one more, maybe two to go. It's a quick fix. And that black looks really, really nice. It's probably what I recommend. If you have a really dark floor, then perhaps you should do white. And for that matter, if you've got a really dark floor, you should change your room tags so that they're white. You can just edit the family and edit the room name and change this. Don't go to full white. It thinks that's black too. Go to almost white and then load it back into your project. And yeah, so you got to decide. Do you want black walls? Do you want white walls? Do you want black text? Do you want white text? Okay, and then finally, let's go ahead and put in these shadows. Okay, you know probably already, there's a button down here for shadows, and I can turn that on, and it doesn't look quite right. You know, I wouldn't leave it there. What I got to do to fix this is go to the next button and go into sun settings. And here we want to say this is going to be relative to view. We want to go with a high sun angle so we don't get these long reaching shadows. I'll try 70 degrees and hit apply. Already that looks a lot better. If you want something more still, more of a shadow, then just change that and keep dropping the number. The lower it gets, the more shadow you'll see. If you want to change the orientation of the shadow, then change the azimuth. I'll try 90. Hit enter after you plug in a number, and then you can hit apply. And you know, between 0 and 360, somewhere you should find an angle that you like. Now one more adjustment will finish this off. I want to come down to graphic display options, and I'll go into lighting and turn the shadow number down so that they're not so dark. Somewhere in here where they're just subtle but still visible, it's not as much of a distraction, and it looks really crisp. It looks really nice for that floor plan. And then one last change is that when you do this for your second floor, you'll have to go through that process all over again. The second floor won't remember what I've done here in the main floor or the first floor. But when you do that, you want to make sure under the sun settings that you tell the ground plane to be at the second level, or whatever makes the most sense, but not first floor. You'll notice that your shadows are quite a distance from the second floor if this is set to the first floor as the ground level. So make that change and put it on your sheet. This would probably be over here, and my second floor would be over here to the right. And how's that for a presentation? It looks really good. Eventually it could go on your poster, and we're done.